If you are a beginner crocheter and you want to be able to make these lovely lemon peel stitch washcloth, then go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button because this free pattern is coming your way. Go ahead and grab some worsted weight cotton yarn, some worsted weight cotton yarn. I'm using Hobie, and I'm also using I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. Go ahead and grab an H8 5mm hook. Make sure you have a yarn needle and a good pair of scissors, of course. And make sure you know how to double crochet and single crochet. And you'll need one slip stitch, and other than that, as long as you can chain, single crochet, double crochet, and slip stitch, you are ready to go. I absolutely love the texture on this washcloth. And the awesome part is you could make it in any color. You could make it in any size. It's super customizable and it's super, super simple. It's just a 1 row repeat. So go ahead and grab your supplies and I will see you here in just a second. Alrighty guys, so to go ahead and get started with our lemon peel washcloth, I'm going to go ahead and start with a slip knot. Now, I'm going to be using, of course, my H8 5mm hook. I definitely recommend that you use whatever hook that you are most comfortable with. If you want to use a little bigger hook, you can do so. You can use a little smaller hook. I wouldn't go too much smaller because the tighter the stitches are together, the harder it will be to dry for a washcloth. So, when we're going to go ahead and get started, I'm going to go ahead and chain 31 because I don't like a huge washcloth. But if you would like a larger or a smaller washcloth, you can go ahead and just make sure you chain an odd number of chains. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 31. So 1, so I like 31 just because it gives me a good amount, but it's easier for, I have small hands, so it's easier for my hands to work with. So if I'm cleaning my face or if I'm using it in the kitchen, whichever, it's a good size for me. So what you're going to do is in the second stitch, in the second chain from the hook, you're going to start with a single crochet stitch. And then you're going to, in the very next chain, you're going to go ahead and do a double crochet. And then you're going to go back to single crochet. And then double crochet. And you're just going to alternate single crochet, double crochet all the way across. Now, I will say you don't want to make your single crochets too tight or too loose. You want to try to have a really consistent tension. But what I love about this stitch combination is that beginners can do it and it looks really, really pretty with very simple stitches, just very basic stitches. You don't need to be a master or super advanced in order to use this stitch combination. And you will end up with 30 stitches or one less than whatever you chained. Or if just in case you're making your own size. Now, in order to finish this stitch correctly, make sure that because you started with a single crochet here at the very beginning, you want to end with a double crochet in the last one. So if you like did 2 double crochets or 2 single crochets or something, it'll kind of, you'll be able to kind of do a little checkup right there at the very end, because you want to make sure that you start with a single crochet and end with a double crochet. So you can go ahead and chain 1, turn, and in the first stitch you're going to single crochet, and in the next stitch you're going to double crochet. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure all of your single crochets are into the double crochet from the previous row, and all of your double crochets will be in the single crochet from the previous row. And that way it'll kind of give it, it'll help even it out a little bit, but it'll still give it a really pretty texture. And I really love this washcloth too, because it's just a 1 row repeat, so I don't have to try to remember what row I'm on. It's the exact same stitch combo no matter what row I'm on. That just makes, all right, so I'm also going to go ahead and finish with a double crochet into the first single crochet. Alrighty guys, so you finish your double crochet and then you're going to chain 1 and turn. And this is where you're going to repeat this row for approximately 24 rows. Now this is going to be dependent on if you followed the 30 stitches, so go ahead and make sure that your washcloth is the width and the length that you choose, but I will be doing 24 rows, and you can see this texture is already forming. You can kind of see it right there forming. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working on my rows. So here is my progress. This is about 6 rows, and I wanted to let you know how to, I just wanted to give you a reminder of how to change colors if you wanted to make your washcloth striped like me. So you're going to go ahead and work your double crochet into the last stitch. You're going to pull through the first time, but that second time you're actually going to drop this first yarn, and I actually hold it on the back side with my index finger, just like that, just so it's held down and it stays tight. And then I take my secondary color and I will hold it with my thumb on the front side, and then I can kind of switch it over, so thumb and middle finger or index finger, and you yarn over with the new color and pull through. Now there I have a more detailed explanation in another YouTube video, but I just wanted to give you that little reminder, because then what you can do is you can chain 1, flip it over, and you can continue to do your single crochet and double crochet. Now you may have to tighten this up a little bit, and you will end up needing to weave in these ends at the end, but that's how you switch colors in between, so that way you can get your striped washcloth. Alrighty, so that's my progress, and I'll be back again with you guys soon. Alrighty guys, so I have finished 24 rows. So I did 6 rows for my first stripe, 12 rows for my middle stripe, and another 6 for my last stripe. Now to finish your washcloth, there are a couple of options. You could totally just fasten off here and weave in all your ends and leave it rustic looking. I honestly really enjoy that a lot of times. And then what I would do is I would just block your washcloth to make sure it's all nice. Or if you're just like, I'm just going to use it in my kitchen, then you probably wouldn't need to. You could just throw it in the wash or just get straight to using it. That's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and show you though how to crochet the border, so that way you can give it a nice clean and finished look. Now, it's totally up to you. Some people will actually, instead of weaving in their ends, they will just crochet right over the border, right over the top of their ends, so they don't have to weave them in. Personally, I find that to be kind of a pain. just because I tend to like lose one, and so then one will be out and I'll end up having to weave in ends anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and weave in my, I'm going to not fast enough. I'm going to weave in my ends really quick from the beginning and my color changes. And then I will be right back and I will show you how to crochet a nice border for your lemon peel washcloth. All right, guys, so to create your border, I like to just chain one. It makes it a little bit simpler, and I'm going to turn it straight to the side. So we're going to go ahead and single crochet all the way around. And what you're going to do is in every row that has the double crochet, you're going to put 2. And every row that has the single crochet, you're going to put 1 single crochet stitch. So for this first one, we start with a double crochet stitch. So I'm going to just single crochet twice in the end of this row. It makes it a little more even. And then in the next row, we'll just single crochet once. So if you think 2, 1, 2, 1, or you can count to 3 and then do it again, however works for you. I've just found that this is a little simpler of a way to create the border and make it pretty even. Now, if you have a tighter tension or a looser tension, you might have to adjust this slightly. And remember, because this has like a slight upward trajectory in like the corners, remember we haven't blocked this, so it may need to be blocked because the edges will kind of could be a little bit looser. So to block it, you would just get it wet, or you can wash it. A lot of times I wash it, it'll actually help stretch it out and make it lay a little more flat. So that's how we're going to go ahead and create our border. Now I'm not going to change border colors. If you wanted to just really make this stripe like stand out, you could definitely change colors here at the edge. I think it stands out more when I have the outside colors, the outside color as the border. But you can go ahead and do it whatever you think looks best. Totally up to you. It's your washcloth. So we're just going to single crochet all the way around. Now, here at the corner, so I'm going to go ahead and single crochet once into the end of this single crochet row, or the end of the row with the single crochet. And then I prefer to just put a chain 1 and then turn, and I'm going to single crochet in the base chain of the bottom part of my washcloth. Now, the chain 1 is just going to help that corner lie a little more flat and not bunch up. You don't want your border here to be too tight. So I find that doing a chain 1 allows it to just relax a little bit, and so it won't get too tight. So you're going to do 1 single crochet in the end of each chain. So instead of doing 2, 1, 2, 1, you're just going to do 1 per stitch. Now, if you're confused where the stitches are, so do you see right there is the bottom of the double crochet, and right here is the bottom of the single crochet. If you really want to check yourself, you should have 30 single crochets at the bottom. And actually for this side, you're going to have, so see mine's, once I block it, it'll actually lie a little more straight. But you're going to have 24 plus 12 for the 2 single crochets per, so you should have a total of 36 per the side. If you want a few less, you could do a few less, you could do a few more. That's kind of up to your tension. Like I said, mine, I tend to have, it'll stretch out quite a bit once it's washed or blocked. So I like to have it a little, just a couple more, because otherwise my border will actually cause it to curl, because it'll be too tight if I do too few stitches. So I just know that for a tendency of mine. However, you know your own crochet ability the best, and you know your own tension the best. So do what works best for you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the bottom of this row, and I will show you when we get back up to the top how we finish up this border. All right, guys, so you're going to go ahead and chain one at the very end here, and you're going to insert your hook into that first stitch, single crochet, and you're actually just going to single crochet along the top here in every stitch. So this will be the last side to create our border. And then what you will do to fasten off is just, you'll end up doing a slip stitch, or you can do an invisible join to the first single crochet of your border round, whichever you prefer. So you should have 36 on the first side, 30 on the bottom, 36 on the second side, and another 30 on top, plus the chain at each corner. So if you're, just in case you're like, I don't know how many, that's what you're going for each side. All right, so to go ahead and wrap this up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to single crochet in that final single crochet of the row, and then I'm just going to slip stitch here into the first single crochet for the border, and that's when we can go ahead and fasten off, pull through. Now, because it's a border, I will go ahead and show you how you can make your fasten off a little more invisible so people can't see it right away. So right here is where we've finished. So we're going to actually insert our hook into the side, like right underneath the top of the stitch, right below the V. And we're going to go all the way around so it'll look like another stitch. And then I actually go, you can go right here, or you can go into the slip stitch, and it'll make it look a little more seamless and clean, just like that. And then you can go ahead and weave in your end down the border or in the stitches, however you prefer. I find that the border stitches are a great way to start because they tend to be a little bit tighter, and so they're going to hold it a little bit better. But you also want to go back and forth a little bit too, especially if you're a beginner crocheter and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. That's what you want to do, is you want to go back and forth. That's why you're kind of weaving in the ends. It'll help them not come out. Now, depending on if this is a gift for someone or if it's just for you at home. If it's just for me, a lot of times I won't weave in the ends quite as much because I'm like, meh, I can fix it if need be. But it's up to you. So then any extra yarn, go ahead and take your scissors and carefully cut that away. And there you are. So what you can do is you can throw it in the wash, and I love this stitch because of the texture, but and also it does great. It feels so good on your face. But it also is a really good one for like the kitchen because of getting into like getting all the gunk off of it, off of like kitchen counters and stuff. But the awesome part is when you wash it, do you see all that stretch? That'll actually loosen up a little bit and it'll lay it so nice and flat. I really, really love it. This is one that I honestly made a whole bunch of them when I had my little boy, and I made them really small. That would be perfect for his little face. So they do really well for baby gifts, for just for really anything, for hosting gifts, for all the things. So just make sure you want to throw it in the wash and it'll stretch it out a little bit, block it, or you can leave it look without the border and it makes it look really rustic. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you are a beginner crocheter and you love free patterns, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and comment down below what colors you're going to use. I would love to see these in so many different colors, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye guys.